folks, today we're going to learn about multiplying a monomial by a polynomial and multiplying two polynomials. These two sections in your textbook in chapter 8 are basically just the distributive property. So we've already done this. We're kind of just extending on what we already know, okay? So let me take you through a few examples. Okay, and we'll also do this in the Zooms. So we've got that first section, which is just multiplying a monomial times a polynomial. And my notes, my handwritten notes will be online, okay? So basically we're trying to remember the properties from chapter 7 with multiplying monomials and also looking at distributing them. So we've got, let's say we have 2x squared times 4x squared plus 2x minus 7. Okay, so it's nothing we haven't done, right? We've multiplied a constant through, right? So now we're just multiplying this monomial through. So if we were to distribute this all the way through, right, we would have 2x squared times 4x squared plus 2x squared times 2x minus 2x squared times 7. Okay, so now you're just doing the multiplication, right? So drawing the arrows helps. Knowing what you're going to get for signs also helps. So positive, positive. So you should have a positive, positive, negative product. Okay, so now I multiply these two. So I've got the 2 times 4 is 8. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Plus 2 times 2 is 4. X squared times x is x cubed. Minus 2 times 7 is 14. X squared just comes along for the ride. So you're just distributing through the monomial times the trinomial. Okay? And you'll see another example in my notes. Now, in the second section that we're going to be doing, we're not going to just have a monomial. We're going to have a binomial times another binomial. So in my notes, this would be example 3. Or example 1 in the second section. So in example, in section 8.3, right, we're going to do some examples where we multiply a binomial times another binomial. So if you had binomial x plus 3 times binomial x plus 4, basically what you're doing is you're just distributing through, but you're doing it twice. So you're doing the x times both, and you're doing the 3 times both. So in the end, really, you've got 4 products, right? So what we're doing is the first times the first, F, we're going to put there. The outer times the outer, O. The last times the last, and the inner terms. Okay, so we're going to put an I there. So people tend to call this the FOIL method. All right, some math teachers don't really like you to say that because this is kind of a way to remember, but it's really the distributive property 2 times. Okay, so if this helps you, I think that's great. Okay, if you want to remember by saying foil, right? Foil, that aluminum foil, that silvery thing, right? Foil. It's just a way to remember. Okay, so first product would be x times x. The outer, would be x times 4. The inner would be 3 times x, and the last would be 3 times 4. So that extension, right, those 4 products can be simplified. So we've got x times x is x squared plus, I don't think you can see that very well, so I'm going to switch. That works great. X times 4 is 4x. x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so when you multiply this out, you can see that a lot better. When you multiply this out, in most cases, all right, I don't want to say in all cases, but in most cases, you're going to be able to combine those outer and inner products. So 3x and 4x, if we're to add those two terms, right, we know that would be 7x. So plus 7x plus 12. So we have the product of two binomials, right? The x plus 3 times x plus 4 is a trinomial in this case. Will that always happen? Will we always have the product of two binomials be a trinomial? I don't know, let's check. Right, so I'm skipping one of the examples on my notes, but you'll have my notes. What if we did, I think this is example 4 of this one. Anyway, you'll have my notes. So we've got 3x plus 4, sorry, 4m plus 3 times 4m minus 3. Okay, bear with me today. I'm having a tough day. All right, so if we wanted to multiply these two binomials, we're going to use the FOIL method again, which is really just the distributive property twice. Right, so we do the first, the outer, the inner, and the last. So FOIL. So the first times the first would be 4m times 4m is 16m squared. So I'm skipping that writing out the terms because most times I do. Okay? The outer times the outer would be 4m times minus 3 would be minus 12m. The inner times the inner, 3 times 4m would be plus 12m. And the last would be 3 times negative 3, which would be negative 9. Okay? So here we have an example of a product of two binomials where when I go simplify the outer and the inner, they actually have a zero sum. So we don't have a middle term. We have the 16m squared and the minus 9. So here's an example that shows you that when you multiply two binomials, sometimes you get another binomial. In the last example, we got a trinomial. Okay? So I thank you for watching the video. I'm hoping that these videos to help some of the students. You want to take a look at the notes because I do a couple extra problems, including a challenge problem on the notes. But I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope to see everyone in the new school year. Take care, guys.